Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps, SRE, DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you.
Okay, so first thing is, what is Ansible? What is Ansible? So Ansible is a configuration management tool. Okay, Ansible is a configuration management tool. So all these people whom you ask, it says configuration management, right? Okay, so this is a configuration management tool. Now next question is, why we call it configuration management? That's a question. That's a question. Why we call it configuration management? So here using Ansible, you can manage configurations of server. Okay? That is that means one server you have, and you can manage the configuration of server. And you can also manage the configuration of multiple server. So because it manages the configuration of server primarily, okay, so we call it configuration. Now next questions you will have, like, what is there in the server, so we manage the configuration. So see, you want to do what? You want to install some package, correct? You want to start some services. You want to work with some files. You want to work with some directory. You want to work with install some packages. You want to start, stop services and stuff like that. Okay, so all this thing which you have, which you do with the service as a server, and for that you have a tool which is called Ansible, and for that, using that, you can manage the configuration of server. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so simple. Using this, see, there is a one difference between the Ansible and Terraform. So Ansible we always call configuration management tool because you manage the configuration primarily. But using Terraform, you create an infrastructure. Okay. Many people say why we have to use Ansible, Terraform, or why we have to use Ansible. So let me put it in this way. Ansible also can do all this thing. Terraform also can do all the things. But it's all about which one is very ease of doing that work. So when it comes for managing the configuration of server, Ansible is best. When it comes for creating infrastructure at the large scale and multi-cloud environment, Terraform is best. Okay, it's not like Terraform cannot do what Ansible can do. It can do, but something which is called best, easy, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the simple definition. Now let me tell you here, Ansible is written in Python. Okay, now this is from the Red Hat, and they have a multiple versions of it, multiple releases which we have here. So there's one Ansible, we have a command line. Ansible Tower, we have a, UI and paid software. Okay. Nowadays they have renamed Ansible Tower to Ansible Automation Platform or something like that, and offering through the cloud also nowadays. Okay. So these are the some changes which we have. Now this is a command line is open source. I mean freely available and anyone can use it. Tower is nothing but based on UI and for the enterprises. So we are focusing this one, and this is more than sufficient in fact. Okay, so this is something which we have. So second thing is, why do we need Ansible? Why Ansible? The simple reason is you want to, the objective what you have is you want to configure thousands of server and also parallel. Okay, so just avoid the spelling mistake. I think parallel is having some, no, it's correct. No, I think it's not correct. EA, it's correct. Okay, I think so. Okay, so parallelly, so let's say one deployment it takes 5 minutes. So 1,000 deployments also should take 5 minutes like that. So Ansible will make it this happen. That's objective. In order to do that, you can use any programming language. You can use Java also, C++ also, shell scripting also. But why Ansible? So reason is very simple. Ansible is easy to learn. Okay, easy to learn, test, debug, extend, share, and all compared to all other programming language. But for which work? This work, not for everything. Okay, Ansible is a DSL language, so it's not for everything. So it's easy to learn compared to other tools for this work. Are you understanding? Very simple way. Now other features like a reduction of cost, improving the quality, this, that, and all. Anyways, you don't want to read that. So now next questions you may have, what are the other tools which we have which is comparing with Ansible? So we have a Chef, we have a Puppet, we have Ansible, we have a Salt. So all these things we have in this category, but Ansible is a market leader in this category. Okay, Ansible is a market leader in this category. So now what is Ansible at a high level and why Ansible? You know that. Any questions so far? All of you?
No,
All of all of you?
No, sir.
Okay. So now next question is, okay, how Ansible works? Okay, how Ansible works. Now this you can also say architecture also. How it works. So understand that in every architecture we are a human always there. Human talk to ACS and ACS talk to what? ARS. Now what is ACS? What is ARS? So I'll put it in a very simple way, server and remote. Don't get confused too much. This is the Ansible server and this is the Ansible remote. Okay, so software is being installed here, but instruction is coming from here and you are sending instruction to this and this guy is sending to instruction to this. ARS will be multiple. Ansible control server, Ansible remote server. Ansible control server and Ansible remote server. Okay, so what to do? So you have to ask Ansible control server how to set up Ansible control server. So in Ansible control server, first of all you install Ansible. Okay, that is a you install it. Now when you install Ansible, you get many things. You get the tools, multiple tools, I'll show you. But you get modules and you get plugins and you get config file also. Okay, these are the things you get. So now the question is, what is tool, what is modules and all, we'll discuss in some time. But apart from that, Ansible control server, you have inventory and so you have inventory. What is inventory? I'll talk about it and so on. So these are the content which you have. So you install Ansible, you get this one, and then inventory you have, and access also you can have it. Authentication, auth and auth. Auth and auth means what I'm trying to say. Auth and auth means authentication and
authorization.
Authorization, yeah, authentication. Authentication means how to log in. Authorization means what you are allowed to do. Correct, like that. Okay, so auth and auth, you have it. So all these things you have in Ansible, but okay, that I will discuss a little bit later. But how it works actually, so that is not good answered. So Ansible need to be installed here in ACS, which I talked about it. But how to install, I'll teach you. That's not a big deal. And in ARS, nothing has to be there. Nothing has to be there. That means don't agentless. Ansible is agentless. This is one property. If someone will say, hey, what is the biggest advantage of Ansible? So you can say agentless. And so it's free, open source, easy to learn, debug, this, that, and all, but agentless. So in a ARS, you don't have to install. But in reality, you know what? Python has to be there. But you know what? Python is there in each part of the Linux server right now, nowadays. It's coming with the, so you don't have to worry about it. Make sense, all of you? Okay. Now, next thing you will ask, okay, how this ACS talk to ARS? So if it is, see, ACS also always has to be Linux, and here ARS has to be anything. Means anything means Windows and what do you say, Linux. Now, when ACS talk to the ARS, and in case of Linux, they communicate with what protocol? SSH protocol, which you know. And when it talk to the ARS machine in Windows machine, then there's one protocol which is CI most WinRM. Okay, study about the WinRM. It's a HTTP protocol. Okay, only for Windows. So WinRM nowadays in 2016 plus you will find a default actually. Earlier version you have to manually do that. Okay. So guys, in terms of communication, in terms of specifications also, you got to know. Are you comfortable, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now the question is, what is a tools? What is a modules? What is a plugins? What is a config file? What is inventory? What is auth and auth? This we need to discuss, which you find only in ACS Ansible control server. So let's do one thing. I want to show you rather than talking, because that way I can save little time also. So let's log into one of the machines. So where's my machine, by the way? So let's use one of the machine on Azure. Uh, Enter. And here I'm using this machine. And where is IP address? Patti here. And this is the I have a username somewhere here. Enter password here. This is the one two machines for I'm using for demo. Okay, I think I used last today for Jenkins, so I have not stopped it. That's a not good thing, but let's use this. So now here sudo -s, this is my machines. Okay, so now how do you install the Ansible in Ubuntu? Simple. Write it here, Ansible install in Ubuntu. Simple. You can find my tutorial also DevOpsSchool.com, but right now uh, I just want to focus on something which easily comes up. And here, so now this is yum and this is apt. So here let's run this command. Enter. Okay, and then run this command. This is official documents, by the way. Okay, and this one, and last command will install the answer. Okay, simple. It was installation command line is very simple. Yes, this command will install the answer. Okay. Okay, so now Ansible almost got installed. So now the question was, what is mod tools? What is the modules? What is the plugins? What is the config file? What is the inventory? These are all the things. And there's one more thing which I forgot, which is called what is a playbook. It's the most important one, by the way. Okay, so this is one. Done. Guys, I installed the Ansible. Now I'll just change Ansible here. And what should I write? Help, right? Here it is. So these are the command line options. I just read it and see here. One thing, connection options. This is authentication authorizations here you have. And I'm sorry, this is a connection. I mean authorization, authentication, and this is the authorizations. These are authorizations. Here you have escalate your more access, and these are the command line options. But something like that, I want to see the versions. Look at this. It's not coming. Version maybe. Hyphen version. So here, this is something. Let me show you in the screen. Now here you see the config file. This is the file, config file. Now this config file is here, and here you see modules. So these are the locations of modules will be there, which is here, and then there's a few more locations of module, and these are the locations you'll have some plugins and all. Executable you'll find here, okay, which is tools. Okay, so I want to show you the multiple tools available for this. So one by one. First tools, so ls and star, no, not star, Ansible star, no. See, so many tools. So these are the tools, different purpose we have. So Ansible is command line. Yeah, Ansible playbook for running the playbook. Inventory creations and all. Vault is there. You have Ansible Vault. Ansible Galaxy. I'll talk about it. And many tools are there. So once you install Ansible, you get a tools. Are you comfortable with it, all of you?
Yes.
Quick
Okay.
question.
Now next. Yes, tell me.
So aside from configuration, aside for using Ansible for configuration management for servers, what other things can we use Ansible for? Even though you
Uh,
said we use it for infrastructure as a service,
I'll tell you
but
in a very simple way. Uh,
okay.
mm,
Mhm.
you want to install your application in 2000 servers or 100 servers. Okay. So let's say one installation takes in one server 5 minutes. So if you want to install in 1,000 server, how much time it will take? So many times. But
Mhm.
using Ansible, you can do the parallel deployment, parallel configuration management. That means, see, in order to install one software, what you do? Copy this file, extract it, install some dependencies, then install your software, change some sort of entries, service, modify the service and start the service, and then some validation, some XYZ, some database operation. These are the things you do in order to install one application, right? So all these things you can automate through Ansible. So Ansible will make these changes in the one server, and the same way if you want to do in the 10,000 server, Ansible will do the parallel request, maybe 100 servers parallel thing, so you can save your time actually. And one more thing which I did not cover, I didn't want to confuse you too much because that's not so important for time being. Learning is so important. There's one feature called idiom potence. Idiom potence, anyone have idea what is idiom potence? Take a notes, personal notes. This feature you have in Chef also, Puppet also, Ansible also, Terraform also, CloudFormation also, ARM also. Everywhere nowadays you find this feature. So
What is
something
that,
has
sir?
been done, idiom potent. Okay.
Confused, right?
Yeah.
Can you please write it?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. This is all idiom potent. So this functionality is there in Ansible. So let's say I'll put it in a very simple way. If some of the, let's say, service has been started or file has been copied. So again, if you run the script, 5 times also, 10 times also, it will not copy, because Ansible will detect, say, hey, you have already copied, so saving time. So that feature you have it. So that way you manage the configuration of the server using Ansible server side, should say, not one. If you are using only for one server, don't use Ansible. If you're using only for 2 or 3 server, don't use Ansible. Why? Because you can do through the shell scripting also, right? No.
Mm.
But if you are doing for the hundreds of server, 200s of server, and same time you want to maintain the consistency, integrations, and you want to have everything, each server you want to deploy everything at a one time, and the same time, saving time, and same time, same packages, then Ansible is good. So you can say in a simple way deployment tool, but actually it's a configuration management tool. So what you do, not only you, I mean software developers and DevOps can use, IT people are using also this one, Ansible. Why? They want to install antivirus. How do they do that? They want to patch the operating system. How do you do it? So they're using like that. You can say like. So that's the reason is configure your server parallelly, hundreds of it at a time. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it's like this explanation helps. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So
Rajesh,
now,
one
hmm?
more question. As you said, like we can install like any kind of software, like in let's say 10,000 servers. So what needs to be installed on all those servers? Like, is there any agent of Ansible or what?
No, nothing. No, just now I told you. See here in Ansible server, you'll be having Ansible and ARS server, which is where you are installing, and A Python has to be there. Okay.
Okay.
So
So like this
Python
ARS
is
will,
coming.
sorry, I mean
Python is
like
coming
this,
default.
no,
Yeah.
no. This ARS will communicate to all those 10,000 servers.
Ah ha ha ha. ACS will communicate. Wait a second. Ah, this is you, and this is your server, ACS server. And ACS server, you have all this stuff. And using ACS server, you deploy. This is your server one, server two, server three. This is called SARS server. So here you install Apache. Here you install Tomcat and multiple Tomcat, multiple Apache, multiple database. So now this is something ARS. This is ARS. So here this connection is SSH for Linux, for Windows is WinRAR. Make sense?
Okay, so
So
ACS will communicate to all the remote servers and do
yeah,
the
and to
configuration.
deploy the package. And
Okay,
here you install the real software, and this you can give it access to your customer. Real software installed in ARS. Remember, that's where the configuration management happens. Okay, so now what I was doing, yeah. So this is
Sorry
the
for taking
tools.
you. Sorry for taking you back. Does
Yeah.
Ansible has functionality for backup and restore for all this application on the server?
No, no. Ansible is not a backup and restore process tool. Ansible only can configure it. See, I'll tell you in this way. I installed using Ansible. I installed something in this server. Okay, I installed. Same thing I can install in this server also. Same thing I can install in this server. Now what has happened? One guy from your team modified this server manually. So next time when you run it, you will get the same thing what you have desired here. So a revert will not be, undo will not possible, but it will change that to the what desire you have it. So this changes will be undone actually in that case. Okay. So that way all the three server will have a same deployment, same consistency, integrations and all. Consistent change will be there, and that way Ansible will take care of it. Okay, so now you understood this is the tools. Now question is, what is a modules then? So module is a code, simple, a code, Python code or any other code also, it's a code. Plugins is also code. Okay, let me show you some code so you'll have a visualizations better. So where is the modules? I'll go to the system location, okay? Mm, I cannot access this one. Go to the system location. So that place which you have was accessing is a user locations. Okay. So here there's a modules. It's a system modules. Okay. And see this. What is this? Any idea what is this?
These are the Python plugin.
Python code. Yeah, Python code. So I told you correct. It can be any other code also, but not complicating. So it's a code. Okay. Plugin is also code. Somewhere back, if you see, plugins also directly somewhere. Where is that? Here. Okay. So inside that also you'll find the Python code. These are the directories, and inside that you'll find the Python code. So now the question is, what is the modules? What is the plugin? So understand this. If you want to extend some feature, of Ansible, see plugin concept, you understand this. Plugin means last session we did JMeter, right? Install plugin. Why? So I wanted to extend the feature of JMeter. So we have a plugin concept. Okay. So additional feature, a feature of this plugin concept is feature of Ansible. Find it. So can you install more feature? Yes, you can do that. How to install and all, that's out of scope. But right now, understand that more feature. There's so many plugins is already available which to use it. So plugin is nothing but a code and which is adding a feature to Ansible. But mind it here. Modules is also code, but this code is running in ARS. Mind it here, ARS. So then you will say, Rajesh, can you give me example for it? So I'll put it in this way. Think simple always. Okay. Always think simple. So this is me. Okay. This is my ACS and this is my ARS. This is my ARS. So now think manual first. If I want to copy some files, so what are the parameters you need to tell me? Think simple. I want to copy some files. What are the parameters needed? Quickly. Hello. So you need the source file and destination file, correct now? Correct. And then you will write this code, and this code where you require source and destination, this code can be written Python also, Java also, any other language also. This code which you have is called modules. So here remember that modules is a code which is running in ARS. That means this module will be sent to this machine and this machine, and copying from source to destination. This code will be running in the ARS, each ARS machine. Did you understand that module now?
Yes.
Yeah. So module will make a changes in ARS. Plugins is a feature of Ansible. Both are code only. Okay. So I think this is done. Now next one is config file. I showed you that locations earlier, somewhere on top. Okay. etc Ansible and stuff like that. So what is a config file? So config file is basically, I'll put it in this way. This is a executable, okay? Ansible.exe. You know what? In this executable, there is a hundreds of options are there, which is hard coded. Don't you think so? Those who create the package, they hard code those variables in a Ansible.exe. Correct now? For example, location, path, some this system path and all, many different types of SSH, which port 22 default port, right? So those kind of things is hard coded in Ansible only. Are you understanding, all of you?
So
But the question is, you will say, Rajesh, I want to run Ansible, I want to connect through SSH, but my ARS is on some 24 port. Okay, just one example. Or you will say playbook is location at a playbook, this is the one, or inventory is located at some different locations, not a default locations. So basically you want to customize this guy and you want to pass your own user parameters. So what to do? In that case, you'll use config file. So config file will override all the entries which is set in here, and you can enjoy this. So you don't have to modify the executable config file to modify the configurations.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.